If you raise soybeans, you will probably want to use the 3-Pre herbicide program. All right, so we have two main points we wanted to leave you with today. Why do I need 3 Pre's? And number 2, do I even really need a pre-herbicide at all?
Well, first of all, if we go out with a single mode of action product versus multiple modes of action, the university research has shown us having at least 2 effective modes of action in the tank decreases our chance of building weed resistance by 83 times. That's why I want to use multiple products. Now, why would we use 3 instead of 2? The reason we want 3 is we want to do the best job we can controlling these weeds before they're out of the ground, and we want to extend your soil residual control to control weeds later into the season.
The other reason we want 3 Pre's out there is just to get 2 effective modes of action. Well, if you've got 3 modes of action out there, even if one happens to not work anymore, you still have 2 left. So we look at the main Roundup resistant weeds that are out there, weeds like kochia, for example, Palmer pigweed, water hemp, ragweed, and we say, hey, what are the best products we can possibly use pre-emerge that are still inexpensive, that have really good residual? Well, what we're left with is the yellows, that'd be trifluralin, Sonalan, or Prowl, metribuzin, and one of the PPOs, either Valor or Authority.
Now, why these 3 modes of action? Again, we can't use them post-emerge. So as we're using them pre, you may be thinking, can I actually mix all 3 together and use them? You think about trifluralin as that product that has to be instantly incorporated. It's got some volatility to it in that it can evaporate and you could lose some of it. So we do like tillage for trifluralin. If you say, well, I'm in a no-till situation, then we would choose Prowl. With the PPOs, they can be used either incorporated in the soil or they can be laid on the soil surface in a no-till situation. Metribuzin would be the same way, could be used in conventional till, or it could be used in no-till. Now, if you say, I'm going to lightly incorporate, how do I do this to make all 3 of those modes of action work? Well, keep it relatively shallow. With Treflan, it does move around in the soil a little bit. You could go a little bit deeper with that one, but we find better results when we can keep the PPOs and the metribuzin in the top inch or maybe 2 inches of soil. So don't get deeper than 3 or 4 inches. We'd suggest running your tillage tool faster to try to encourage more mixing and to keep it a little shallow.
In terms of use rates, we get the most questions about metribuzin. We love this product. It's great and it's dirt cheap. You're going to spend about $4 an acre for 1/3 of a pound. That's technically a half rate. If you're in high pH, so 7.4 and above, you can instantly cut that rate. I don't know exactly what the right rate is for you, but I usually start at 1/6 of a pound. That costs $2 an acre. You can go down from there if you need to. If it's super sandy, like beach sand kind of ground, you're not supposed to use metribuzin.
Let's talk about the yellows, and you've already narrowed it down. If you're no-till, you're using Prowl. If you're conventional till, you're going to use the trifluralin. And if you're just looking to save money, use the trifluralin. It's significantly cheaper than what the Prowl is going to be. And in terms of rates, with Prowl, we want to keep you up towards the top end of that labeled rate. Again, you may vary that slightly if you have a very light soil or a very heavy soil. But with the trifluralin, that's the one I wanted to focus on because 2 pints has historically been the full rate of trifluralin. We're seeing many growers, including our own farm, cutting that back to 1.5 pints just to avoid carryover into a future crop. Like corn, for example, if you've got some trifluralin carryover, you'll kind of see those roots, especially in the top inch or 2, really being short and thick and not really long and thin roots like you'd like to see out in your field.
Okay, let's talk rates real quick with Valor and Authority. Authority is going to be in premixes, so that's kind of hard. With Valor, though, I can tell you exactly what rate. At the minimum 2 ounces, I really like 3 ounces of either liquid or dry. And in terms of cost, you're going to spend $6 to $9 on Valor or Authority. You're going to spend about $4 on trifluralin and $2 to $4 on metribuzin. So grand total, we're talking well less than $20. The only thing that would bump you up to around $20 or above would be the use of Prowl if you have to go no-till.
Then let's answer the final question. Why are we so excited about talking about these 3 Pre's? Well, in addition to they really work well, the alternative of doing something post-emerge is just not good. I don't care what you're talking about, if it's Xtend soybeans, Liberty Link soybeans, Roundup Ready soybeans, conventional soybeans, you don't have good post-emerge residual options. Sure, you could use Warrant or you could use Metolachlor or some of these products post, but you're using low rates and they really don't last that terrible long. You can use stronger rates with different modes of action that you can't use post in this pre-program and then stop most of those weeds before they emerge. even letting weeds get up just a few inches tall does take away from your yield. So it's going to give you more yield for less money using the pre-emerge options.
And the big thing is you're probably never going to find 3 effective modes of action post-emerge. We can have those pre. So we really encourage you at least consider the 3 Pre program for your soybeans this year.
3 Pre's in soybeans are nice, but will they stop our weed of the week? Can you identify this week's weed?